Bright Ant presents 7 Myths You Still Believe About Sex. Number 1. To some people, size does matter. They may wish their partner were longer or shorter or thinner or thicker. The bottom line, however, is that research consistently finds that sexual satisfaction is more influenced by psychological connection, intimacy, and relationship satisfaction, not just the size or shape of a person's genitals. In our study of more than 1,600 men, we found the average erect length was about 5.6 inches, with most men hovering around that average. How two people connect through sex is typically more important than the size of the parts, however. Number 2. Do men have easier erections at 18 than age 70? Sure, but the sex may be more meaningful and satisfying at 70 than 18, generally speaking. Enjoyable sex can happen at any age. It's rarely all physical or all emotional. Sex is this fascinating place where our bodies and emotions and past experiences and future hopes collide, and that can result in something pretty spectacular at any age. If you think you've reached your peak, forget it. The best may still be yet to come. The same advice goes for those who haven't reached their peak. You shouldn't worry about it. Number 3. It's not that simple to determine who can have an orgasm from a certain type of sex. After all, whether someone has an orgasm during sex depends on more than just their ability, but also on how they feel about their partner's technique, etc. And when women have orgasms from penile vaginal intercourse, it's not always clear-cut how exactly the orgasm came to be. After all, the clitoris has inside parts and outside parts, and intercourse stimulates both. The vagina, including the G-spot area, is also stimulated during intercourse, as are nerves around the cervix, including the vagus nerve, which is one pathway to orgasm. Number 4. Men are known for shutting down and going to sleep post-ejaculation, for biological reasons, so the idea of multiple orgasms sounds almost ridiculous to many people. That said, it happens. Some men can do it naturally, but most have to work pretty hard. Men can, but it's usually learned skill involving Taoist or tantric techniques, which include breath control and making a distinction between ejaculation and orgasm. You can find these techniques in books like Mantak Chia and Douglas Abrams' account of Taoist sexual practices, The Multi-Orgasmic Man. Number 5. While there is no consistent data on how many people identify as bisexual, we do see stats where there are twice as many bisexual men as there are women. Sexual orientation is natural and no more for one gender than others. It may be more socially acceptable and therefore easier for women to express more flexibility or fluidity with their sexualities, but this does not equate to their identities, nor does it exclude the men who experience attraction for their sex and other sexes. Number 6. Tantra is a type of sexual intimacy in which partners use Eastern techniques to share energy. The Venus butterfly technique is said to bring about an hour-long orgasm. Talk about needing a nap after sex. Critics argue that this so-called Tantra-induced supergasm is actually confusing orgasm with other stages of arousal, like plateau and resolution. I'm not one to harness someone's orgasmic capabilities or change the meaning of orgasm to them. I will put out there that the longest orgasm measured in the labs was around 1 minute, and it was not the result of Tantra. Number 7. There's no easy gender divide. As it turns out, most human beings enjoy sex, and most people say their most enjoyable sex occurs in relationships. Not surprising given how highly both men and women say connection and intimacy matter to them. Of course, some men and some women prefer casual sex, and most people have tried casual kinds of sex at some point in their lives. Men and women tend to be far more similar than different in terms of the kinds of sex they enjoy, connecting, intimate, with whom, relationship partner. Thanks for watching another amazing video. Don't forget to subscribe for more.